Hi, this is Moritz, CPO and co-founder of ComplyDo. Imagine, your company has to comply to tons of external requirements, such as standards, regulations, or even contracts. Now, there's a new regulation coming out, the Cyber Resilience Act, and you want to know what this means for you, whether you already do this or what you have to additionally do. With ComplyDo, you can simply upload any kind of dynamic document, such as, for example, the Cyber Resilience Act, and start to process it. Once uploaded, we then in the background analyze the document, extract all the requirements in the most granular way while keeping their context to the original document, and map those requirements to your internal compliance. Your internal compliance, which you can also maintain inside of ComplyDo. Either manually upload documents containing internal policies, internal controls, or evidences, or simply connect your SharePoint or your Confluence to let us scrape all the required documents from there. Perfect. So after the uploaded document has been fully processed, we can then see how it performs against our current internal compliance. Here we see it as a management dashboard showing us how many requirements have been extracted in total, how those map to our internal controls, which internal controls perform best against those requirements, or what the most critical risks are to address those in specific. We can then see this especially for the just uploaded Cyber Resilience Act, either by grouping it by the articles, and for each article getting presented by the requirements that have been extracted, and for those requirements then being able to see how those map to the internal controls. For example, for this requirement, we see that it maps to the SPM03 internal control and is thereby covered. On the other side, we can also see this in a multi-dimensional clustered view, allowing us to group the requirements by their topics. And for each of the topics, diving deeper down in the specifications and seeing the requirements grouped by that. This allows us to continuously audit our internal compliance, see how it reflects the requirements from the external requirements that we uploaded and that we maintain in our system. Using ComplyDo, we can also automatically assess the risk of our business applications in the company by answering security questionnaires which we have predefined automatically using the data we gather through the analysis of the connected integrations. So for example, through the Confluence or through a SharePoint which has been connected and analyzed for this specific applications. We then assign internal controls which are important for this application and thus need to be fulfilled. Summarizing, ComplyDo enables you to automate your internal compliance from initially analyzing external requirements, over mapping those to your internal compliance to identify gaps, and then assigning the relevant controls to your internal business applications. Thus, ComplyDo allows you to heavily reduce resources, have a faster time to market, to increase the frequency internal audits can be done in, and even increase the quality your assessments are done with.